From dog tags to ownership, heroes take the lead. Stories of veterans building dreams with passion, drive, and speed. From service to success, we're here to inspire the quest. Dog tags to ownership, we're the best. Take the prize.
From the battlefield to the boardroom, this is Dog Tags to Ownership, the podcast where veterans share their journeys from serving our nation to leading in business. You're inspiring stories of grit, growth, and the entrepreneurial spirit that drives those who serve to succeed. Tune in and take the first step toward your own mission in entrepreneurship.
Military One Percenters, welcome to Dog Tags to Ownership, where once a week we interview veterans who charted a path towards entrepreneurship. Here our goals are to share resources, advice, and success stories about starting a business, discuss strategies for building financial independence and creating your own path, and most importantly, build a community to support each other through the challenges of transitioning from service life to civilian ownership. Today, we are thrilled to introduce our guests to the show, Brielle and Cody Savoy, who are the owners of Uncaged Fitness, a nearly 20,000 square foot gym and wellness facility in Worcester, Mass. Cody serves in the Mass Army National Guard, and Brielle serves in the Army Reserves and is a firefighter at the Worcester Fire Department, where she is the up-and-coming rising superstar of the Worcester Fire Department. Welcome to the podcast, Brielle, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, can you guys just tell us about yourselves, your service, and how you got started?
Yeah, so I joined the Guard back in 2013. Really not much direction. It was either that or probably jail, maybe dead. Who knows? I was just something to do. It was actually to get away from a girl. So one was to get away from a girl, and I found my girl in the Army. So, well, maybe. So I did one deployment overseas to Sinai. Been to Honduras on cooperation training, multiple ATs. Now I'm with RSP unit here, getting soldiers ready for boot camp, and that's definitely my passion.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. What you, Brielle?
Well, I started my military career in the Army National Guard. I enlisted at 17 years old out of high school. And then once I went to college at Suffolk University, I decided to do ROTC. So that was my path. And I spent a few years in an aviation unit. I spent about 5 years doing intel and plans for an infantry unit. And I spent a little bit of time up at brigade. And now I'm over at an MP unit in the reserves.
Oh, nice. MPs.
MPs. You got two of us sitting right here. So...
yeah, I probably could learn a lot from you guys.
Probably not.
More from Julie. More from June.
So what got you guys or your interest into starting your own business? What was the passion there? Was it a passion project, or what just gave you that interest to start Uncaged Fitness? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It has nothing to do with, obviously, neither one of you work out much. So, I mean, that
No, we don't like.
nothing to do with.
I actually can't stand the gym.
Well, personally, after I had my two kids who are 8 and 9 years old now, I started to get more into fitness. Obviously, throughout my military career, I've had to maintain some sort of level of fitness, but my passion really developed after my children when I was deployed and wanted to focus on the mission. And I had that free time at night that I just needed to fill. So I fell in love with the gym. And while I was there, I was like, you know what? I'd really like to open one of these when I get home. And that was about 6 years ago when I had that thought that crossed my mind.
So this is my third gym that I've been a part of or managing. The last two kind of screwed me over. We built up two great facilities. The second one I literally built from the ground up, designed with one of the owners. And then we got to the point where we just kept asking ourselves, like, why do we keep doing this? Like, why do we keep getting into this position where we give our entire lives to somebody and they just throw us aside? So we were like, at some point we were just like, I'm never working for somebody again. Besides obviously Uncle Sam. But yeah, so I mean, that's really what drove us to really pull the trigger and put everything on the line for this place.
Yeah. I feel like when we met though, we both wanted to be involved in the fitness community in some capacity. And both of us kind of thought about owning our own thing at some point. But what really pushed us was working for others and then wanting to really build our own community and grow something for ourselves and the people around us.
No, that's amazing. And that was kind of, one of my questions was that, like, did you have background or experience? And clearly, Cody, you did have had the experience managing the gym. So how much easier did that maybe make the process or not?
No, I mean, yeah, I make a weird face, but because every gym is different. It's some people follow you from gym to gym, and we have members here that have followed me from every gym that I've been to since like each one opened. But the demographic of people changes so much that you have some of the issues are exactly the same. You're like, I know what to do in this situation, but then there's other situations that are brand new, and you're like, crap, I don't know what to do here. Luckily, our community here is so outstanding that we rarely have anything go wrong with the gym or the people inside of it. People clean up after themselves. They put away their weights. They are very welcoming to new people in the gym. We have over 800 people now, and we've been open for 2 months. And I believe that's just because we've developed a great culture here already that people just keep telling their friends or their other great people to come join. And it's been amazing.
Yeah. Like, can you just go back for a second, I think, and just tell us about the gym and like what all it has? And like, I follow it on social media. I see all the cool things you guys are doing. Just really tell the listeners what the gym is and what is different about your gym than a Gold's gym or,
Planet
Fitness or whatever. What makes you guys stand out?
So I feel like the best part of our gym is that it manifested from a vision for community versus like, hey, we want to open something, we want to run something, we want to be the owners, and like, we just want something that's ours. We want to build a specific community that's based around giving people the tools to make themselves better. Instead of just being like, here's this thing, come use it, or we own it, whatever. It's more than that. Here's this thing, we're going to give you the tools, we're going to show you, we're going to show up every day, we're going to be here to motivate you, we're going to stay positive together, we're going to run events together. We know we say everybody's name as they come in. It's very important to us to actually have some sort of fitness family in our facility. And if we ever replicated this business model somewhere else, it would be the same thing. Like the people that we've hired, we started this business 2 months ago and pretty much we're the only people working it. So 12 hours a day, Cody's been here. When I work 24-hour shifts, he's here all 12. We've tried to split some shifts and now we're just hiring people. And it was so important that like the people we hire are people we can mentor to have the same vision of that community. So it's more than just these walls with some cool equipment in it to us.
Yeah, but you guys do have some like pretty cool.
We have crazy cool equipment.
Don't you have like a wellness center there?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it is all that, but then it's also the fact that like we have a sauna in each locker room. We have the wellness center, which just started with full body waxing. Rachel over there. We have a telemed, which is like a ready med or a care urgent care.
Yeah.
Kate's in there. We have the freedom movement with Jeff and his wife coming in.
That's physical therapy. So we'll have physical therapy and sports massage therapy in there as well.
Yeah. We have the esthetician with Meg and
Resilience Aesthetics.
yes.
And then we have a barbershop that's going to be our second business that we're partnering with our buddy on. So
yeah, our buddy Jonathan, who already has an established business called Roommates Barbershop.
no, this is good fellow.
I'm sorry.
His twin brother has roommates.
Okay.
And they literally look the same and get mad when I can't tell them apart, but they wear the same thing into the gym. I'm like, yeah, but Jonathan is Goodfellas Barbershop and we're going to be Uncaged Barber Co.
Cool. So is that where you're going to get your haircuts, Cody?
Yeah, all the hair that I have on my head.
Is he going to make sure he gets
Beard cuts.
Let's swing by for a guest.
Yeah.
All right.
Fly on over.
Workout and a haircut.
Perfect.
Looking forward to
Full body wax.
I'll circle back on that one. You talked about community. Is part of that what you've been exposed to in the military and kind of that brotherhood, sisterhood community there that you're kind of carrying into the gym? Is it part of your military experience helping foster that community there?
So we actually talked about that this morning. I actually owe a lot of everything to the National Guard. Thankfully, the people that I know that kind of pushed me to be the leader that I think I am. So RSP, getting kids ready for boot camp, they all come and they're like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to get stronger. I don't know what to eat. And I don't know. Some kids don't know how to shave. you being the first person that they see that they look up to as a responsible adult is kind of, it's made us work harder in the field that we're doing. Because I tell them, I'm like, come to the gym. I'll give you a free gym membership just to get in here and better yourself. The guard has shown me that everyone comes from all walks of life. And when we meld together to get a certain task done, we could move mountains. And I think that's what we try to do here, because everybody that walks in, they're like, it's so welcoming here. I don't ever see people with like mean mugging me like they do over at this gym or that gym. Like, oh, man, you just want people to better themselves. So I definitely owe it to the guards for sure.
There's a huge amount of fulfillment for both of us that comes from service. Whether it's our military service or I serve on the fire department, like we needed to find something to do to continue that for the rest of our lives. So like I have 5 years left in the military. Then what am I going to do? And I have a long time left in the fire department because I'm new, but I'm going to keep doing that as well. Service-based industries just make us feel good all the time. So it's important to us to continue to make other people feel like they can do it as well.
And I feel like when you talk about leadership, leading by example. So if people feel comfortable in your gym, it's probably because you two make them feel welcome in the gym. Gyms I've gone to, if there are people that give you a look or whatever, and I think it's because it kind of starts at the top in that gym, and then they kind of attract maybe that type of clientele.
Feels good to make people smile, like as they come in and you remember their name. Like Cody says every single person's name every day, all day. So he knows everyone. And we have 800 people here and he talks to them all. So it's really awesome.
That's impressive.
Awesome.
It's really
There's a couple of people that I got to kind of sheet off of when they scan in, their name pops up on the screen. But the mass majority of people that walk, even if I don't know, I try to make it a point to know their name. I want to make sure that people know that I give a crap. I mean, they're entrusting us to give them the best service that we can provide. And I couldn't be more grateful for the amount of people that have come. There's 270,000 people in Worcester alone. We border a bunch of big towns, our cities in Massachusetts. And for people to pick us out of all the gyms in this area, I couldn't be more grateful for them to give our family the opportunity.
We talked about experience, but I guess maybe more on the business side, because you talked about managing gyms, but as far as more the business aspect of maybe running it, the financials and things of that nature, any courses, any studies, business programs, anything like that, or we're just winging it?
We're doing this live.
We're going to do it live.
Yeah, we are learning as we go. We're talking to mentors. I
pretty much YouTube the entire thing.
We do a lot of YouTubing. I have a bachelor's degree, but it didn't teach me any math. I can't do any math. So we have an accountant, and that's like the most important, probably, that communication that we have right now. But as far as courses go, we do put a lot of our leadership experience and general operational knowledge back on the military. So if I can plan a field training exercise in another country over the course of 2 months, I feel like I can do pretty much anything.
Yeah. I don't know what we did before YouTube, to be honest.
Yeah.
How I learned about home renovation is through YouTube.
Really, you said that you'll be done in the Army in about 5 years. Firefighter. Cody, this is your third gym that you're running. And I know you had mentioned at the front of this about taking this business model and replicating it somewhere else, but is there any other type of business ideas that you guys have that you want to do, or are you looking at maybe franchising your current business model across the state or, the nation?
Plan is to take this business model and replicate it about 5 times in Massachusetts. The way that we set this place up, I know that I can duplicate this, and we built it to the point where it's supposed to be self-sufficient. Like, you can sign up in your car in the parking lot and gain access to our gym. You just got to wait for the emails to come through and follow the steps. I don't recommend it. But if it was last resort and you were like, I really want to go here, you could. And our system would allow you in through our facial recognition software and the Keezy access system. We also have cameras everywhere, so everybody feels safe. We put extra lights in the parking lot so people feel safe at night. We could really rename this gym the Civil Servant Gym, because we have over 200 members here that are civil servants. So we have police cars always in the parking lot. The fire trucks are always stopping by because they do anything. But even our city officials, like we have a couple that come here, they're members. So people feel safe here. They feel like they can be themselves. We're not too much of judgmental people, I would say. So it's the business model itself can easily be reproduced. It was really money. Money was the big thing.
Starting from nothing, it's really hard.
Somebody asked me tonight, I mean, they were like, so what? So actually, he was from one of the last gyms. He's coming over here. He goes, so what, you're like 50% owner in this? And I was like, no, I'm 100% owner in this. And he was like, how'd you get the money for this?
Have you heard of the VA loan?
Yeah.
Okay, let's cash out refi.
Yeah. So then did you guys buy the space or are you
So
renting?
we rent. Yeah, we actually rent the space. The next one we do, we'll probably end up buying. We want to perfect this first. So that's a couple years down the road, but we rent the space, but we own all of the equipment and the infrastructure. So it's not just about that infrastructure. All of that is great. We have a model that can be replicated, but it really comes down to recruiting the right people and having the same vision as those people and the same values. That's what I like to focus on as my kind of part in the business. And then he does the money and like the infrastructure stuff.
Can you talk more about startup costs? Kind of get a little bit more into that.
Yeah.
100% owners.
Yeah, it depends on square footage. Like, so you go off the square footage to see how many pieces of equipment you want, what you can fit in here. So we knew from one of the last spaces that we worked, it was 20,000 square feet, but it was the entire building. We used to say that the gym was 20,000 square feet, but there was 4 or 5 huge rooms that we didn't even touch. We took that number and then just multiplied the machines by the square footage in order to figure out how many pieces we needed. We ended up getting over 100 pieces of strength equipment and over 40 pieces of cardio equipment. We tried hitting every targeted audience. We have a space for functional training. So we got dumbbells up to 150. We had 2 sets of 5 to 50 because people always complain about there's not enough dumbbells. There's not enough adjustable benches. We have pretty much a bodybuilding side. I call it bodybuilding, but it's really anybody. But it's all plate loaded equipment. If you have to put a plate on a piece, people are like, oh no. So then they stick to the more crunch, Planet Fitness side.
Dry stuff we also have on another side of the gym. Everything's organized by region of the body, and that's how we built out the equipment list. I would say probably it was at $400,000 or $500,000 for equipment.
There's a little over 500,000 for the.
So there's like the equipment budget, and then you go in an Excel sheet and be like, for this part of the body, these are our top priority pieces. This is our wish list piece, and you go from there. So you have your number, and then you pick parts of the body and the pieces of equipment for that part of the body, whether it's selectorized, plate loaded, whether it's free weights is kind of how we did that. Most of the money was spent on equipment for startup. And then our landlord helped us by putting some of the money back into our lease. In order to renovate this space, used to be a medical building. It had to be gutted into a warehouse. So that project around $600,000, some of that money goes back into your lease. So you're looking at a little over $1 million to start a gym like ours.
So how, did you guys get sponsors or backing, or did you take all?
We have investment partners in some of it that get an ROI. I don't know if you can talk more about the money stuff, but yeah, he's better at it.
We pretty much, so we went, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone, to be honest with you, but we went all in hard. So I maxed out every credit card I have.
Really? It works or we're just going to go bankrupt.
Right. Yeah. So maxed out the credit cards. I took out all the personal loans I could take out. We refinanced the house, took out all the equity of the home that we just dumped a bunch of money into beforehand. Yeah, I have 5, no wait, it's 1, 2, it's 3. I have 3 friends that went in with me, not even for a percentage of the company. They went in for a percentage of overall revenue of the company. My big thing was I didn't want to take people's money and give up a percentage of the business itself, because if I ever decided to sell the business or the business went bankrupt, they wouldn't be affected. So I felt like that was the safest option for somebody, because it's a Hail Mary for us. Fortunately, we didn't come in blind, so it's working out. It's going very well. Can't say enough about the members here. They're just phenomenal people. Our landlord, CRE Management, we were the first person that they showed this location to, and we walked them around told them exactly what we thought about the space and what we thought we could do with it. And they looked at us like we had 8 heads. They were like, no way. They're like, you want to gut this place? And I was like, yes, I want to.
And paint it all black.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it can't be black. And we're like, it's going to be black. Everybody loves it. They were skeptical, but it looks amazing in here. It's very like sleek and professional.
Yes. So we worked with our property manager. I was working with the guard actually full time at the time, working 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then I'd shoot over here during the day, work with him on the project, trying to get better prices on everything, like the flooring, the mirrors, paint, toilets, anything, you name it. So they ended up paid for the build, but what they did is they amortized it back into our lease. So we pay whatever it was plus 10 to 15% over the next 10 years, which, yeah, we signed a 10-year lease, 5-year guaranteed.
Personally guaranteed.
Yeah. 5-year personally guaranteed.
We believe in her.
That is one thing that I would recommend anyone do is don't do the full personally guaranteed. Try to bargain that down or barter that down to as little as possible. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, if there was a COVID thing, I mean, we wouldn't close, but if it happened 5 years ago, probably would have closed.
Well, we did learn from the beginning, like we were like, oh, like SBA loans, the government wants to help us to start businesses. None of that gets approved until you've already been operating for like 6 months is what we figured out when we were first looking into this. And obviously, like I said, we don't have formal education on this. So we're trying to figure all this out. And we're like, all right, so basically we just have to take huge risks and then bet on ourselves, and then we'll start to pay it back and then refi kind of into the SBA stuff. So we had very conservative numbers to start on all of our projections. We've more than surpassed those numbers already. And it does seem like we could go into the black within our first year of owning a business, which is kind of unheard of for a gym.
That's amazing.
It's like a really good feeling to know that we like took the risk and it's working out.
There's still a huge risk.
2 months, 800 members. What are your targets, I guess, for membership that, puts you in the black, keeps you in the black? Where do you have to be, membership wise?
So we'll start going positive at 1,000 in order to pay everybody back, make it all worth it. In order to save for another business, improve on this one. I'm thinking 2,500 to 3,000. Other gyms in the area, they go for like 3,800 to like 4,800. They'll go in between those numbers. Somewhere around there. Planet Fitnesses are usually from like 7,000 to 10,000. But they're all about numbers, and they just want people to pay $10 and never come back.
Different.
We really want people to come here and stay here and then value it for what it is. So we'll probably cap it at the 2,500. And then if we have to, we'll raise rates and people will stay. The people that leave, that's fine. I mean, it's not for everyone. We want everyone. And I always say, like, we're a gym for everyone, but we're not for everyone.
We want to continue to provide value for our members. And if this gym gets flooded with members because the prices are too low for the area, then we need to control membership somehow to continue to have a great experience for the members. So that's why.
It definitely makes sense. And you guys were honestly crushing it. And I know I saw you back in the July timeframe, and Cody, you were, talking about the gym, talking about the remodel and all that stuff. And I've been following you guys on social media and all the stuff that you have going on. Was there any like setbacks or challenges that you guys went through as, when it got closer to opening day back in December, I think? What were some of those setbacks or challenges?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest ones was that we had an investor pull out of the business, a big chunk of change. It was like over $100,000. We had to pivot really hard. And luckily we had a couple people waiting in the ranks that wanted to because they could see the vision, but I didn't want to give up too much of the revenue in order to make this happen, because then it wouldn't be worth all the sacrifice that we've put in if we're not able to pull our own family out from whatever it is. So that was a huge one. We also I was just talking to Search about the landlord. We had them cut our cost to build. It was about like 100.
We cut our lighting by half at one point because they told us that we had to cut somewhere. And honestly, we were worried about it, but the lighting's perfect in the gym. So it all worked out. But there were moments where like there were, I guess, constraints put on us by the landlord, and then also just like having that person pull out. You kind of lean back on like, do you really want to do this? And you're like, okay, we're already in this. Like, there's no, do you want to do this? Like, we have to just push forward and do what we need to do. So also like, clearly it's difficult when you're going through these stressful times to be a couple and managing a business. So I would say that was a little bit rough, but things have kind of like worked themselves out with the business being successful and a lot of those stressors going away. But building out a huge business like this is extremely, extremely stressful. So that was tough.
Yeah. As the only two primary staff members at the,
Yes.
right. So and I was thinking about that. When do you pay yourselves, right? Or investors probably get paid. There's probably money going back into the gym. What's your outlook on that? Because I have like this, we invest in real estate, my wife and I do, but all that money that comes out of that stays over there in real estate. Like that's not something, we're not buying cars with that, other things for ourselves. It stays there to kind of rinse and repeat. I guess what's your, thoughts on that?
I'm still working on sweat equity.
She's literally got paid twice. I'm working on sweat equity.
Well, I got too little
That's not how that works.
so far, but then I gave my paychecks back to the people we hired. So I'm back to getting paid nothing, which I'm fine with
Did you not
because
just get paid yesterday?
you told me you weren't paying me.
Did you not just get paid yesterday?
I thought I wasn't getting paid.
God dang.
Anyway, it's been really good because we have these people that are kind of like waiting to be hired, but they love it so much here that they're just like chilling. They're waiting for us to be able to afford them, but you have to be conservative to start. Like payroll is the most expensive thing that we have going right now.
Every business.
Yeah, and we if we do get paid, it's like minimum wage. Like that's what I'm making right now.
I'm getting paid exactly what it takes. So all I did was add my bills up for each month, and I was like, yeah, okay, there it is. That's my number.
This covers my
Right.
personal bills to exist without the house getting taken.
So I talked to my accountant like the first week I think we opened, and I was like, how much do I pay myself? And he was like, whatever it takes for you to get by. He's like, that's it.
That's it.
He's like, just
Fuck
pay
it.
yourself. He's like, you have to go on the books right away. He's like, and if you don't, he's like, the company's not paying anybody, so it looks bad. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So I put myself on the books, put Brielle on the books, and it was just us. We had a good, one of our good friends, she was cleaning the place for us, was paying her as a 1099 employee. Yeah. I mean, you have to do what you got to do. You got to go in it with something. You can't open a business and expect it to pay you along with your workers, insurance, all the merchandise that we have. We just did a hat drop. It was like
Sold on less than a week.
yeah, I mean but we still fronted that money. I mean, it's so yeah. I mean, to answer your question, it's just enough. You pay yourself just enough,
Yeah.
and then wait for everything to get by. Because we do want to get into real estate at some point, because we're going to have to do something with moving money, and when it gets to that point, we want to create generational wealth for like our kids, our grandkids, or having our cousins, relatives, everyone. People have been asking us for jobs left and right, and I'm like, I don't work with family, but if I got to pay a gas bill or something, I guess so.
Yeah. We've had a few guests on already. You guys are our fourth guest, first couple to come on.
Serving members.
Yeah, currently serving members besides us. So how challenging is it been to operate your business while continuing to serve?
Well, we both just had drill last weekend. So I fly to Pittsburgh for my battle assembly with the MP unit. And I was like, all right, I'm going to Pittsburgh this weekend. So you have the gym, right? And he's like, but I have drill this weekend. And so we need to do a better job of figuring that out. But his unit has been really understanding. So he can make up the time when I'm home. For me, I can't skip anything because I'm in pre-mob time frame and I'm deploying this summer. So I can't skip, but luckily his unit has been understanding.
Oh, wow.
Thanks. They're a great unit. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been with them for 3 years.
So he just shifts his time. Like he'll do like makeup days.
So, Cody, are you going to be like doing all 24-hour shifts while Brielle's gone? Like, how's that going to work?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on the fire department and
Yeah.
pick up her snack.
I'll be messaging him from Europe.
Yeah.
I was like, she goes, "You're sending me away." I was like, "Yeah, on vacation for a year." It's like, and you're getting paid to do it.
My job's a vacation. My military career's a vacation. I'm just having fun.
Firefighters don't do anything, You're just chilling.
Being easy.
So what advice would you all give someone that's currently serving or transitioning out of the military and considering entrepreneurship?
I think it's the best possible option for someone who has military experience. The military for me, honestly, like it's confidence. The military has given me confidence. I've been forced to do things I never thought I could do, speak in front of crowds I never thought I would have to speak in front of. I've had to plan projects that seemed impossible. And so all of that stuff, all of those challenges, it makes you feel like you can do anything. There's no reason why someone who's had years of experience of that type of forced challenge can't do something like this. If they're willing to take the risk and if they have the support system available, there's no better feeling than having the power to control what's going to happen with you outside of those constraints. But like just pushing through it is something that we're given through our experience in the military. The resiliency and the confidence is like key.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of veterans have a hard time adjusting to civilian life. I mean, guys that come off active duty always have it obviously harder than people like us. So I can't really speak to the active duty that as much. I can't imagine.
Yeah, but you didn't like working for people.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, coming from military to entrepreneurship, it's definitely different. It's got to be different, a lot different from going from active duty where you're literally everything you do is all Army or all whatever military all the time to you're running the ship, like you're doing everything. So I can't imagine from active duty, but for the Guard, and this is why I love the Guard, I love the reserves, because you have to be the best on both sides. So you got to not only run your entire civilian life, trying to better yourself every week, every month, every year, and then also pull yourself out of that, throw yourself in boots, and you're like, what were we doing last month? Oh yeah, now I remember. Like going over flashcards of what you're trying to remember how to run a freaking OP again. You're like, crap. Okay, yeah.
Hey, just compartmentalize. Just
Yes.
flip those switches.
Yeah.
I do recommend running a business, though. I mean, as long as you have great people around you, you can always succeed. We have plenty of military people that stop over here all the time. They just checking in on us. I don't know whether it's not they're rooting for us, they want us to fail, but they do stop in, and it's always great to give somebody a hug and be like, hey, yeah, I've been here for 9 hours today. I haven't had a day off in 2 months.
Well, my third energy drink.
I feel like you have to have some more risk tolerance, perhaps, to my palms started sweating a little bit when you started talking about, the refinance of the house and the maxing of the credit cards and
The marriage stress part.
yeah.
I would say that if you do have a partner that is going to keep their job while you're pursuing the entrepreneurship, that's super helpful. Because if we happen
Yeah,
to
'cause you
fail
want
for
it to
any
quit.
reason, I still have my job. I don't want to quit. I still have my job for us to fall back on if anything were to happen. So that kind of decreases the stress. Having family around you is important.
Very, very.
Yeah.
That's like my backup shoot. Transitioning out is my wife, and that she maintains her job. So I've got the
Yeah,
strategy there.
it's a good strategy.
Yeah, it's not bad. So where do you see yourselves? And I think you talked a little bit about the business and at least 5 locations. But where do you see yourselves in the business? 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Are you able to step back from it and not pull 24-hour shifts in the gym, sleep in the gym, be more hands off?
I think we're going to work all the time forever.
So
Yeah, but just in a different way though.
yes,
Um,
working keeps me grounded. If I leave work for too long, I start getting in trouble, like big trouble. So I have to keep working. Brielle, on the other hand, could leave and go anywhere. She's just like, I could stay here forever. Like when we went to Hawaii for 10
I love
days,
vacation.
I was like, I have to get back to work. I can't stand being here.
Yeah. Well, it's good to balance each other out like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
In 10 years, I'm hoping that this place can run itself and we have a team of people that we entrust to fulfill our vision and to keep it going. And I'm never going to stop going. Like, we plan on doing those in Massachusetts, but then we also plan on putting a couple in Florida, Texas. I want one in Nashville because I like Nashville. So I'd like to visit. So, I mean,
We're not going to Nashville to work out.
but I mean, if any day that I'm like, hey, we got to go visit one of the gyms today, go hop on a plane, go to Florida, go check on one of the gyms. Like, that's where I want to be in 15 years. And just at the point where money's making money. And I mean, we just create such a great community that people like, you got to go to this gym because they treat everybody with respect and they help each other out. Like right now, I write free plans for a lot of people in here. I mean, as long as they got a paying full membership, I give you a free nutrition and workout regimen. That's just because I want to see you do well. I want you to take that money that you spent and do something with it. And that's what I want to do to all these places. I don't want to nickel and dime people to death.
Yeah, I think it'll be more like 5-10 years down the road. Like he said, we'll go visit these places we've created and make sure that the teams are doing well and that they're taken care of and that they feel like they're taken care of.
So we're going to move into our final questions here. And we'll start with Matt Stewart.
I mentioned earlier, kind of, I focus on real estate investing there. So listen to those types of podcasts, audiobooks, books. Is there anything you both would recommend podcast-wise, book-wise for listeners to dive into?
Yeah, DogTags to Ownership.
Yeah.
That one.
I also, for the past 4 years, have been listening to Real AF with Andy Frisella, who owns First Form. It's a little bit more on the conservative side, so maybe not for everyone. But I do like the episodes specifically that do the question and answer, because those episodes focus on business questions. So those ones are really good. He does a lot of stuff with like current events, and maybe that's not for everyone, but the business focused stuff is good. And I think he's also gonna start doing the MF CEO project again, which is all business focused too. So
Awesome.
that's been motivating.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that one out.
Yeah.
All right, so the last question. Our final question for every episode. Admiral William McCraven authored the book, Make Your Bed, Little Things That Can Change Your Life and Maybe the World. So, who makes the bed every morning? Or do you guys make the bed?
Okay, so
Oh, yeah, we talked about it.
Or does
Yeah.
no one make the bed?
no one makes the bed in the morning. We get up with just enough time to physically remove ourselves from bed and get into work without being late. But before bed at night, Cody makes the bed. Every night before we get into the bed, he makes the bed. So I don't know if that makes us good business owners.
Not really sure.
There's something to be said about making it before you get in. So, like, I'm assuming you do that. So it's like you're getting into a clean bed, made bed, and it's like, right, the end of my day. It's this. I'm getting in, finishing my day, and ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, so we'll take the partial credit on that one.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. There's a buddy at work and he says the same thing. He's like, if I come home and for some reason, like, he left the house early and his wife's in bed, he'll get home at like 5 o'clock and make the bed. And he's like, I don't, probably the same way. Just needs that like feeling of order. We definitely want to thank you both for being on here. It's been a pleasure getting to know you both. I know Julie knows you prior to coming on the podcast. But I've checked out Instagram. I've looked at the gym. I love going to gyms. It looks amazing. When I was in Jersey, I had to go to Ben Francis and, go to the East Coast Mecca. So, like, I don't know. I would love to get up there and work out. But, you guys have been extremely inspired. Your risk and the passion for the business is incredible. So congratulations on where you're at and the vision you have for where you're going. It's super exciting.
We appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, we appreciate your time.
Super pumped to have you guys. And like Matt said, congratulations. I know you guys went all in on it, and you're crushing it. Next week, we're excited to introduce our guest to the show, Michael Cabrera, a.k.a. DJ Mike, a 20-year Army veteran and the owner of Mike Solutions Entertainment, LLC, providing professional DJ and music services for over 20 years. He most recently performed at the 2025 Inauguration Ball. Military One Percenters, please hit that subscribe button to receive all new episodes. Also, if you know someone who has turned their dog tags into ownership, drop us a DM on social media or tag someone. We are always looking for new guests to bring onto the podcast. And as always, military one percenters, thank you for your service. Let's continue this journey and working together to write our next chapter. Until next week, keep pushing to turn those dog tags into ownership.
From dog tags to ownership, heroes take the lead. Stories of veterans building dreams with passion, drive, and speed. From service to success, we're here to inspire the quest. Dog tags to ownership, we're the best. Take the prize.